But what is supposed to be done? Like, is it a must to do some things? Is it like really a must just to prove? Is it a must for someone to have sex with you to prove that, oh my God, I love you? Is it really?
We have arrived.
As Moses is holding hands.
I thought that's what you guys were doing as well. You guys are doing
Moses.
what?
You guys are doing what? Hi guys, welcome to Vibes with Dr. Ruth Grace. And well, today we are having a very special guest. Not a guest actually. She's going to be my co-host on Vibes with Dr. Ruth Grace, the one and only Lizzo Bay from Sawuti Media Plus.
Drum rolls for me. Hi everyone, and first of all, thank you, Dr. Ruth Grace.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lizzo Bay.
Hi everyone. Lizzo Bay times baby. I don't know.
Is everyone supposed to call you babe?
Lizzo is just fine.
Very good. So Lizzo Bay. Okay.
And I'm part of the team of Sauti Plus Media Hub and a peer educator of Reach a Hand Uganda 2023 cohort. Very proud. And I'll be here to just represent all the young people out there as I'll be a co-host on this podcast. So expect to see this face from now on till
the Lizzo face.
Season
face.
58.
What a face.
58.
Shagera.
Chukumi mumeka.
Antikati, like by that time we'll be in 2020 what?
2040. 2040.
And we have a very handsome boy in the studio today for the podcast.
Woo.
He's our guest today, so please.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Ruth. Hi, Lizzo. My name is Kasule Moses. I actually edit these episodes.
So he's the one and only person who's been doing all these Vibes with Dr. Ruth Grace beat, like editing. We are so proud of him. And today we have him on our podcast. And the podcast we're going to be sharing is going to be about relationships. Lizzo and Mosaic, okay? Guys, we're going to forget about relationships.
Yeah.
Kati mutandike. Mwagala kwe picha.
Dr. Ruth mutandikidemu gulu.
Abana big
Mutandikidemu gulu. And she walks around like on earth. Like, let's be down to earth.
You know, when we start from earth, then someone will be like, what is Google saying?
What was our process? Who was even they ask?
Which process?
How can I make her to say yes?
But you guys, when I was young, let me tell you, I got my phone, I googled, I'm like, how do you kiss?
Oh, yeah.
So what is a good kiss? So on the phones you fly. In person you don't want to fly.
I think right now it's even worse because now we have like AI on Snapchat and like on WhatsApp. So you'll be like,
AI mujibuze bintu
AI doctor.
AI Dr. AI.
Yeah.
Like, guys, we moved on from Dr. Google. It is now Dr. AI.
Dr. AI.
Okay.
They broke me up. They broke up with me, guys. What can I do?
Can I get her back?
Exactly. AI.
How can I get her back?
And you come.
Now you guys, wait a minute. You actually do that?
Yeah.
Like real shit.
Research.
It's a real thing.
Research. You got to.
Kari.
Ta-da-da-dam. News.
Yeah.
That is news to me, but guys, it's okay. I've accepted. You know, I am a millennial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now back to the conversation, you guys.
Yeah.
About relationships, what do you want to know? You want to know when is it right to get into a relationship? Or do you feel like there's any time to get actually like it's right to get into a relationship? How old should someone be? Because we have viewers out there who are 16,
True.
Who are 15, who are 20, some are 30, and are still like, Pastor Young Ambins, okay, ninde kuku. The Lord has not yet communicated.
Yeah, and maybe say levels, like we're moving too fast, because you know when we're like into like
moving too fast.
Yeah, like when we're into it, like you might want to like take it up, do relationship stuff,
What relationship stuff? Man, you guys have to break down that stuff.
Like talk and hold hands.
Like talk and hold hands.
Yes. Yes, that's relationship stuff.
Holding hands.
Yes.
No, what? Is
it in Moses' relationship?
That's what we do with my baby. So.
There's been a lot of jargon here, but I think I want to conclude this part by saying that there's a part where you do not discuss. You hold hands. So you hold the hands.
Yeah.
You guys. So now I need to understand this part. So how to get deep in there is where he was going.
Yeah.
How do you go from hi, how are you?
Yeah.
To I think I like you.
Yeah.
to what else can happen, the relationship stuff that he's saying.
Can I hold your hand?
That's Moses'
Can I hold your hand?
Yeah.
I'm coming from a point of view like the people that I'm talking to and the people that I be with already involved in a relationship. But what is supposed to be done? Like, is it a must to do some things? Is it like really a must just to prove? Is it a must for someone to have sex with you to prove that, oh my God, I love you?
Kale. Tutuseyo.
Is it really?
If
We have
people that
arrived.
cameramen in
As
the studio-
Moses
We have
is holding hands.
I thought that's what you guys were doing
So-
as well. You guys are doing
Moses.
You guys are doing what? You guys
Moses. I'm really okay. Hi, Moses' girlfriend.
Don't do that.
I'm so proud of you.
What? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And Moses for holding hands
Yeah.
for the past 5 months.
She's very good at
No
it. She's very good at
No
it
hugs.
too. Very good at it.
Holding hands
So-
and having evening walks
Yeah, we're
in the
getting to-
sun
we
of
almost,
Kampala.
We almost hugged last time. It was nice.
You almost have. So you guys,
Yeah.
okay, coming back to this. No, like the two have shared, there's always a journey when it comes to a relationship. There's always a friendship that starts, and I feel like every relationship should be a friendship. And there's always that part of like, there's someone that you rely on,
Yeah.
a friend. And I think that's why Moses is like starting from like, how do you start? There's a bit of like, we don't have, okay, we may hug or we may handshake, but it's not like, you know, that relationship, lovey handshake or hug. It's more like, hi, how are you today? How are you doing?
Yeah.
They notice when you haven't eaten food. They notice when you're not like down or anything. They notice that. But do you believe that you can have a relationship that's not like sexually related and it's just
Very much.
okay? Yeah, so it's actually a friendship.
Wait, for how long?
You're tired of holding hands.
No. I'm like, it's possible, but for
Like-
how long?
In primary 1, primary 2, did you have seatmates?
I didn't have hair too, so it's different.
You didn't have
It's
hair.
different. Yes, Dr. Ruth, it's different. You can't give me a
They didn't have
primary
that.
one example. Nga tuli wano.
You didn't have with hair.
Aha, ndozo kitegeera. Yes.
Guys, I'm senior 1, senior 2. So you
maybe,
senior 1, senior 2, what
maybe.
happened, guys? Like there's that part where you have like that one friend that you read with. I don't know. Those friends that you have. Did you go to a mixed school or a single school?
It was a mixed one.
It was a mixed.
Yeah.
Kali. So yes, I also went to a mixed school for 1 year.
Oh, really?
That's the year I decided I am going to try everything that happens in the mixed school. I didn't have sex when I was young in
Okay.
school. I was very serious.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very serious, but I did have like a relationship. And it was more like a friendship. So there's this like one guy that really cared for me and also cared for him. Like kuchapa, like my mugulai kuchapa for break for
Yeah.
breaking. Where she does, where I love a woman.
Yeah.
Where she does, like there's that bit where you're not sexually involved, but you take care of each other. And I think that's where like you come from. At the end of the day, you realize, okay, I have these feelings, and I'm like, I feel like I want to maybe kiss her. I feel like I want to do more than that.
That's just what I really, really want to know. Where does that like chivawa
Chivawa.
tutandikirawa?
Very good. Now,
Komawa.
as we grow, guys, this is now Dr. Senga. Tuba tukula, our bodies start having what they call feelings. People usually call them feelings, and for us we call them hormones. So there's a love hormone. There are very many that are involved. The two main ones are what they call dopamine and oxytocin. Okay. Now, okay.
True.
Now, as we are also thinking about the hormones, there's a bit on our body. What makes you more of a man? Also, what makes you more of a female? So, what makes you more of Danikidewa? Left or right? Left, right. Okay, but never got me to boy child to molest wala.
By the way, yes, boy child first. Yeah.
Okay, so boy child first. So, what makes you more manly is a hormone called testosterone. Okay, when I'm teaching young people, I usually call it TT. Katiti. Katoina katiti. That's what gives you like the beards. The hair the dogamba. It doesn't make the so kwedega. Tegera. So it's okay? It is a normal thing. And when someone is growing up, slowly by slowly, even when a boy child has just been born, they erect. They
Like
they have to kulega. Wow. Your mother is going to run to us very quickly, very emergency, okay? The body is born for that.
What?
Yes.
Wow, I
As
didn't
soon as
know.
they come out like this, they have to zwizz. Yeah. If they do not, and you just there's a problem. The other thing, also check and know where the balls are. The balls there. You have 1 or 2. You're supposed to be 2. Yeah. what helps those balls to come down? Sometimes a baby boy is born with only one ball. The second ball is still thinking about where to come. What helps with that is like a hormone called the TT, the testosterone. It makes you more manly, so it helps with the balls coming down as well. That yes. Then when they come now, you've just been born. When you start getting to like adolescence, your body is having those changes. You're having the broadened shoulders. You're having the hair across your body. Then you also have him so awkward. They got even the balls also enlarged. Okay, that is the TT doing all that. Okay, and the TT is also doing that. Now the body reaches that point and it's like, I think I like this girl. The girl you've been walking with from school every day. You've been handshaking. Okay, you know what I mean? Maybe handshaking. This time you feel like, I need to handshake.
For 5 years.
I need to hug.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now what happens? Damusua starts going. Sometimes you wake up, watch that in the morning, and I bet it's a wet dreams. Okay? The wet dreams start happening.
But like, a question. Was that like really like, would you guys dream? Like,
No, you should tell us. You guys like dream and then
Yeah.
you're like,
but then I wanted to ask that the person behind the camera is dying.
I'm ready to answer.
you're
Yeah.
Fill me in. Feed us in.
I feel like we should have some safe words on camera. And be like,
yeah.
But okay, you're ready to answer.
So, what's the question? When we dream,
Do you dream?
You dream the whole action, like scenarios, everything
visualize,
laid out.
yes.
You visualize?
Yes.
Imagination now,
Yes.
wow.
Very
Yes.
good. So yeah,
In-
the brain is activated. Get a mass.
Kankomao.
Ah.
Kankomao could
You
dream.
will reveal the secrets.
No. Kankomao.
Kokomao. Well respected. So, as your brain is getting more active, it's also realizing there's a part of its life, okay, that is saying, okay, there's a bit of like attraction here. When you start having those wet dreams, usually when you're younger, you're thinking more with your brain. And it's a very quick response. You're not able to control it. That's why for boys, they actually just like ejaculate. They have those wet dreams. They can't control it then. Then the older you grow, the more you realize. Now, your brain starts communicating with the misua. You start realizing, okay, fine, I like that girl, but I can't ejaculate right now.
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
maybe later.
So maybe like, okay,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. So maybe later.
Yeah.
Now you start realizing that, okay, I can control this. When they're in senior 5, senior 6, Baba and Paddy in Pavu, they start pocketing, okay? Then you realize senior 5, senior 6 boys, I just say try code. The body guy was now in senior 4. Lizzo is dying. What's happening? He's a shock to bring your experience.
No, please.
Please continue,
Please
doctor.
continue.
Continue.
Yeah, please continue.
Continue.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Carlin. So the older a man gets, like above the age of 18, the more they're able to control, okay? And the older they get, if you're like 25 and above, 30 and above, they even control when they ejaculate, which is that point. And that is why it's like hard as well when men reach that point of like having sex, the very first sex, most times they even like ejaculate before they even start.
Premature.
Yeah.
Did you just say premature?
So I'm tapped in. Yes.
Whatever you get, you know what you're talking about.
Very much.
Very good. So it improves with time. And by the way, now when you're younger, visual stimulation, like he has said, is actually true. The visual stimulation is more when you're young. Like you look at her and you're like, yes,
Yeah.
this is good.
Gugwa.
Now, what is very interesting now, as you get older, visual and like, yeah, visual is okay. Then your brain is more it's engaged. So you will choose, like you said, we just start our when.
Yeah.
Now, for us, usually they tell us, okay, we are growing. The first thing they say is menstruation.
Yep.
They just tell you, my baby gakuze.
Yeah,
Ati
like you have most
menstruation
cases in the African setting, you have to
Yes.
figure things out by yourself.
by yourself.
Yeah.
That is the whole thing. And that's why Dr. Google and AI come through. And our own personal doctors who are our buddies.
Who are you, buddy?
Yeah.
You know, you could like even you be like, man, I have a story. You know that girl, I'm the girl. You know that girl.
Can I tell you a secret? We always know. Whenever I say to the other girl, the other guy. we always-
But at times, I can relate to a person who you know
Yeah.
that
And
is
be like,
believable.
Okay. That's why we're having this podcast, right? For people to go off Dr. AI and Dr. Google.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys.
To ask us questions.
It's Dr. Ruth's podcast. Like,
That's-
we have to bring the questions
So,
here.
the information is here. Yeah. So, mlekela ujija kuchi ku Dr. Google.
Can bring those stories.
Now, back to the girl. So from katiti, katuganya ku estrogen. You've heard about estrogen, you guys?
Yeah.
Too much estrogen. Oh my God, they're quarreling. Too much estrogen. Hey. So now, there's a hormone that makes women very beautiful, the skin to be oily, they make them rounder, makes them soft. It's called estrogen, okay? It also helps with like lubrication of our private parts, the 1%, 1%, which we talked about sometime.
Yeah.
So now that EE is also a very interesting hormone, okay? The EE not only brings out your breasts and makes you like look more beautiful, it also makes you have your menstrual period. Now that EE also drives your hormones, the same way that TT drives your hormones, why you feel like now I'm a man. That one day where tatawa badda kugamba buli jogala wo gate, you're like, nichichi. Now for the EEs, you have always had that point where your mom always tells you wash the dishes. And at this point you feel like, what's time to wash the dishes? Chichi. Exactly. You start feeling now you're like the woman.
You're the lady of the house.
Exactly. Now that is the answer also the TT for you. Okay. So what it makes us like have all that, the whole other bits of life start coming in, where you start feeling like, yeah, I'm this, I'm a woman, I'm a man. Now that same TT and the EE also make the opposite sex get attracted to you. So when her EE is very high, you're like, but Lisa looks so good today.
She has the nyash. Is the EE involved in the nyash?
Even nyash. And also now his tit is going to make him feel like, me ain't got a nyash today. That has always been there. It's shaking too much. It has always been shaking, but for some reason it is not shaking.
It's bubbling.
It's bubbling. So, and then somehow you also be like, the EE is going to be like, man, in the call. His voice is all
It's deep.
It is too deep today.
It's like as if you're just walking
It's
now.
more sexy.
You know.
So now when you get to that level, sometimes you start moving on from a friendship to a love relationship. That's why you start calling like maybe love or David here. You want to shake hands, you want to hug more, and maybe perhaps kiss. Okay?
Perhaps,
yes.
Yeah.
So when you reach that point where your childhood friend now looks more beautiful, the question is, do you want to step into that? Sometimes do you want to think about, do you want to follow what your brain is saying, what your heart is saying, or you want to wait a little bit? It's very confusing for very many young people. It is very confusing. Because sometimes, Bambi, what we expect is normally the guy should come and be like, oh, now you know, I like you. Like these days, he comes, hi, Mose, but I like you, this and that. And then the guy is like, no, that's the thing.
Judgment.
They judge you before. But I do that outside countries, like, for them to like figure out a relationship, you like sort of like first have sex, and then you decide the relationship part after.
You test the waters.
I've seen that in all movies. Like, and I'm like, this is not because why? Why do you have to first test the waters?
No, it's
Okay, it's fun in a movie setting, not in real life.
you have to see how deep the waters are before you dive in there.
So yes, so some people just normally like test the water and like they're like, okay, let's figure it out from here. And I feel like young people these days are doing more of that. Like, let's test the waters first, and then we figure out the relationship from here.
Yeah.
So it's like it has to be consensual. I hope we know that. Like you have to, especially means like you have to accept, and both parties have to be like, yeah, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with that.
I feel
now,
like that's another discussion we should have. Consent.
I know.
Yeah,
And
consent
like
has to come
the
up,
consent
yeah.
part, yes. But like before you even reach that, the sex part is ask the person, are you comfortable if I actually hugged you today? Is it okay if I give you a hug? There's a point where those questions that were never questions start becoming questions. When we meet for the very first time, like when I meet you for the very first time, I can't just come and be like, oh, hi. It's, is it okay if I hug you? Because I may actually be harassing you without you knowing you're harassing me.
Yeah.
Or if you could maybe like have a handshake, or I come and put my hand around you, or like if I come and put my hand around you, or if he comes and puts his arm around you, the point where it gets uncomfortable. It is clear. It is I need that will be a bad day. But then I need that maybe I should ask for this. Whenever you feel uncomfortable, that's the only advice I can give. Like when you're moving on from that friendship to love, when you feel uncomfortable, ask the other person, is it okay if I do this? My first boyfriend, God bless him, I hope he's alive. But
Me too.
you have to forget. So anyway, but like he always asked, are you okay? Are you comfortable? And my first boyfriend was in campus. So I didn't have like, yes, yeah.
Wait, you mentioned single schools. Is that
Yes,
is that
I
why?
did have like, that was like, yani wakusoma.
Okay.
Naye nayita nemuleka simanyi gye yagenda. But me I passed
He's probably watching.
He's probably watching.
Yeah.
God bless you.
God bless him.
The ex you count is the one you have sex with. So
Oh wow, really?
yes, the other
Really, really?
Wow.
yeah. Exactly. So they can't claim and be like, oh my god, I was like a boyfriend. I was there. Yeah. We get there after some time.
Now Lizo's counting her exes. Look at her.
Actually, If you're there and you think I'm your ex-man, ochilimu wake.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So like there's that point where you reach the first time I had like a boyfriend and I had to figure out like the kissing parts, the whatever is happening parts, how to continue is we always had that conversation. Are you comfortable with this? Are you comfortable if I hold you here? Are you comfortable if I put my so that you don't have that bit of awkwardness? Sometimes a woman can feel uncomfortable, even a man can feel uncomfortable if a woman does something. But then you can't share it because you feel like if I talk about it, again, things like that. So now you have to have the conversation and ask always, even for a man. Sometimes we think the men have it all figured out. They are lost in their world, right?
Very
lost.
Very lost.
Okay, there's that part. Now, if you decide that you want to move on from maybe you've had a few dates here and there, but you guys no longer date. You guys, I think it's only millennials who still date. These other guys, they don't.
We hang out.
And they hang out.
Yeah.
Moses
What is
hangs
hanging
out.
out?
We hang out.
Lizzo dates.
Netflix.
Netflix and chill. We're chilling.
No, but on the
Netflix
real, we
and
hang
chill,
out.
and like that's it.
No, we
so
hang
now
out.
the thing is, like when you hang out, what do you do? Huh? You kiss. You guys, you see, they go. These people go.
Okay.
We no longer have the point of I get to know you, but then if people come back,
I think maybe I'm a Gen Z with a millennial setting.
the millennial setting
Because now, what are you talking about? Netflix and chill. I do that every day alone.
alone.
What are you talking
chill
about?
alone.
I
You
chill
Netflix
alone.
alone.
I come from work. I chill alone.
And kati bagenda gabongereko KFC.
No, namnange nizo kuba ndi amawogola gange nga wenda ba.
Kati kaya ngakongerako. Kati munange. So when you're hanging out, these people hang out first. Look. So if you're hanging out and you decide, fine, I'm going to hang out with this person, the next thing is you're going to figure out things quickly more than what you should have done.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out, are we having sex tonight? And then this. But let me tell you something. Should we tell them our secrets or not?
Please,
We
guys,
do it.
guys, please, guys.
A
One.
babe will decide. Do you want us to share the secret?
One, because now we are
share? We share?
one.
Only
only.
one, eh?
Yeah, and then
These are
please.
Only one for now. A babe will
Thank you.
decide a man she wants to have sex with from the get-go, like the first time she looks at you.
Yeah.
It's either a yes, no, or maybe. From the first date.
The first time.
So when you dates in Mecca, it could be worse.
Nga you are a no.
As long as it's a no, it is a what?
A no.
And I was no. But when I'm going to pursue what? Pursue who? If there's a maybe, then maybe there's something. And that's why communication also helps in relationships. Like what is working for you. The only thing she wants is a sweet.
Yeah.
Or like a hug, like every morning, something like that. So those things, those small things, like when you know what is your love language, you've heard of those things like love language.
Yeah.
Those are things I learned through Google.
But what is yours?
Mine.
Yes. What is yours? Yeah. What is your love language?
Gifts, of course. Gifts. Yeah, gifts.
And before we move on, Lizzo,
She has just said it.
it's the same.
Yeah.
All right. That's
But
gifts
like,
is acts of service.
No.
No,
Okay.
it's different.
So-
Gifts.
And then for
There's
you,
also
what's yours?
physical touch, blah blah. But
That
nee.
one.
Yeah.
That's what's it. Like that. So yeah, you have to figure out what is your love language, and you share this with your partner. No, I'm like me. I feel more love when you do this, when you do that, because at the end of the day, you don't want to, you should put it to you want to know it, but she's not giving me what I want. She's not giving me what I want. Them to cow. Now, young people who rush into things these days, there's something called testing.
That one.
I don't have a premarital test snake these days. Let's just call it pre what?
Pre-relationship.
Pre-handshaking.
We handshake test.
Thank
Before
you.
you shake that hand.
Before you shake
Pre-walking.
the hands.
Before you shake that
Test.
hand, please.
Test,
Please
okay?
test, yeah.
If you can, I was telling these young people, in medical school, what we do is that we usually move with strips. Like you move with your strips in your bag. It's not because you're spoiled, because you love your life. The strips can be HIV strips, can be hepatitis B, syphilis, and sometimes when you have this conversation, you're able to like discuss with your partner and be like, I think we should have these tests done rather than before you go for like your outing. Before you go for the outing, we saw clinic. If you feel like the clinic is too much for you, sometimes you can call up a doctor and be like,
Together. Together.
together. And what was it?
Tayagala kuyitirayo.
So it is very important. If you're because it olava eno step eno eddako erimu abantu aba
True.
babiri. Okay? There's no way you're going to have sex alone.
Kakasa.
You can't.
Kakasa.
Can you
Dr.
make a
Ruth.
handshake alone?
Dr. Ruth, are you
Is
sure?
this a handshake?
Hey.
Yeah, Moses.
Hey.
Chichi
That is
chongeza kwa gamba.
Mbagam.
masturbation. That is masturbation, you guys. But is masturbation like sexual pleasure alone, or
It's the safest form.
it's the toughest form of sex?
Yes.
Okay.
According to research. According to research, I'm going to put a thing here because the edit. I'm going to put like a link here and all
According
that.
to research.
It's the safest.
Exactly, because you can't get HIV through that. You can't get hepatitis B. You can't get.
Is it advisable,
infection.
doctor?
Yes, you can masturbate when you want to.
It's not affecting.
No, it does not affect him. So kweliga.
Yes,
Yes, the only problem it can disturb you is if you get addicted to it. Then that's when it's a problem. But yeah.
I just have a quick one, Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
In schools, like you know how the Red Cross Society comes through to take blood, and
Yeah.
I really love that. Big up to Red Cross. Has any school that you guys maybe went to at your point of time that ever came through to do HIV testing?
No,
actually.
I don't think we never got the HIV test. We just had like a whole pregnancy test thing. And it's good that you brought it up because the question is like, what we could do? Is it only pregnancy?
Exactly, that's something I would
like
want
no
to
child also
impose.
exists. So if you don't get pregnant, there's a bit of like there's other infections that are a bit
Yeah,
transmitted
that
when you
you
have
know.
like those sexual relations, etc. And when you're not ready for like having like maybe a pregnancy, that's one of the consequences that people fear a lot. Man, you want to watch girls okay. An STI and pregnancy, what would you fear most?
Pregnancy. Top.
I
most.
always tell young people that the biggest feared STD is pregnancy. It's pregnancy. The pregnancy became the STD. Yeah, it is not the outcome of sex. It is the STD. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. Oh my God, I missed my period. Oh my God, I'm 2 days late. Oh my God, I'm what? Hey, Kate.
Odimurade.
Where are you shouldn't? Are you pregnant?
Lukula ludamaso.
That is the thing with it. And then people are very scared of it because they're like, banang. Now what you do is be ready. If you're not able to have like that consequence of a pregnancy right now, is first hold back. First hold back, you can choose the abstinence. What do you mean? Hold back.
You know, that thing of holding back is like the best decision.
Exactly.
Because that
And by the way-
STD of pregnancy tortures your mental health.
And abstinence is like 100%
Sure.
sure for pregnancy and STIs. It's like 100%. Moza kuto mutwe ashtade lero. Kale, number two.
You guys are right.
Yes.
You guys are so right.
You know, like how you wake up and you are sure that you have a good day.
By the way, moza ojika natandikidde nga nkugamba nti a boy child wa muzaya alega omusuwa. Kati that boy child was 0 day. You think they're thinking about having sex? So you can still abstain. It's like on the, it's an assured deal.
Yeah.
The other one that you want us to talk about is maybe like the use of a condom.
Yeah.
We can have a whole talk show and talk about contraceptives and etc. But a condom is a very good option. Always have one in your pocket. Not only the guys, mommy babes, one. You love the guy so much, not because you don't want to go, not because you don't want what. You need to have that condom like to help, right? Like choose which outcome you want to have.
I see.
Any test season now, what I got again, our doctor like with her, you can have this bit of like if you're shy about it, then but if you're shy about it, then how do you have sex together?
Ubambi.
Bizivu, eh?
Yeah.
Now, as we are almost close to the end of this, take home your What is your take home?
Well, I really think it the part of
Handshaking?
no, yeah. No, there was that part where you mentioned like
Yes.
asking, because usually like we feel like it's an instinct thing, like we feel like you should be like a moment type thing, like let's take it, right? But I think it's safe, like if I like send like leave you like a text, even if she's seated right here, like there's nothing wrong with like me being like, okay, like tonight we are holding hands or take it into it, right? Because it's
I want to
relationship.
take home like from this as well.
This whole conversation that we're having, it starts with you.
Yeah.
It
You as a person.
it doesn't really matter to the partner you're having at that moment. It is you.
Exactly.
So if it's Lizzo, it's Lizzo. Yeah, maybe I'm having, maybe let me say Moses. Moses is Moses. I am Lizzo. Like, so now it's about like really self-reflection and just understanding you. Are you okay? Are you winning? Are you just doing it just because, man, you want to impress Moses, or because there are hormones?
Yeah.
Or because you're about to get to your periods? Like, you can just say something. So it starts with you all the time. It doesn't really need to have so many people within. It's you. So it's a self-reflection, self-understanding, so that you can actually do the right path. It doesn't need you to consult from a friend.
To sum it up from like what you were saying, and as
Yeah.
we are ending this session, is when it comes to having to jump from that friendship to a love relationship, always acknowledge that there's always need for that communication. And I like that you brought that up. Always have that communication and say, hey, I want to move to this. That even if you have had that love or sexual relationship, you want to even now move into a marriage relationship, there's always going to be that talk like, hey, I'm ready for this. So always have that talk. Second is always be safe. It's okay to be safe, both you and your babe. Don't just go and test you alone. Please also test her or test with her.
True.
Or send her to test from the place you tested as well.
Yeah.
It's very important. 3 is be ready for what is going to happen next. It's going to be the STIs, it's going to be any infection, it's going to
Pregnancy.
happen, it's going to be the pregnancy itself that you're worried about. And if you're not yet ready for that, then there are other options which I'll talk about in our next podcasts, in the next series. But then the thing is, also the last part is before you decide that handshake. Make sure that you are ready for whatever is going to happen from that handshake.
Make sure
And
they
take
wash their hands.
responsibility. Because women don't get pregnant
Sanitize.
alone. Sanitize.
The handshake.
The handshake.
Yeah.
So when people are not ready, then they end up with like that picture of like, I didn't want this pregnancy. Then maybe like there's an abortion that happens in a very unsafe place, and they end up bleeding and then they end up dying. These things kill mothers in Uganda, so we need to be worried about that. And I feel like sometimes when men pay attention to it, it may help a little bit. So if you're ready for that relationship, please go ahead and get your hand sanitized very well. Sanitize the handshake and continue.
True.
For any other questions about relationships.
One
Jose has
second.
one.
Yeah. Because you guys brought up the whole period type of talk a few moments ago, and I personally, right, I never understood that part of like ladies, like the one, like maybe with time you understand like it affects how you feel emotionally, how you react to a few things. You get me, right? But I don't know how to.
Remember
like,
the AA we talked about?
Yeah.
Good. The AA also helps control the cycle. And even you guys have a TT that controls your cycle as well. You guys
We
also
do?
have a cycle.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you do. That is when you're off and that is when you're on. And when you're on, your body also releases a hormone called a pheromone. It's like your body perfume. But your babe loves you a lot during that time. So you may sometimes find your babe like smelling your shirt or smelling your underwear. It's because yes, mukama yakola natural perfume. They have that bit of like, I'm smelling this for. It happens. Yes, no, for Echiwowo. Also for the babe, so that EE also does that. There's a point where like she's very high, she's on a high, and part when she's like on the low, on edge. So it's not because she's on edge because she needs to have sex. No, it's just the hormones that are doing that. And the older you get, the more you're able to control what goes around in your mind and in your brain. And we shall have a menstrual cycle discussion sometime.
Yeah.
However, the older you get, please know you can control whatever happens to you. Your brain controls what your body feels. We're not animals, we are human beings that can actually have a conversation and talk. So that's why we need to think about it and control our own emotions and where we want to lead. And don't forget to follow us on our YouTube page.
If you want to watch the full episode, just run to the YouTube channel of Reach a Hand Uganda. You'll find all the episodes. If you're lost about this, start from episode 1 to the current episode. And if you want to know, like, we're here to inform, to educate, but in a fun, relatable way to the young people, to the elders, and to every community that we can reach. Because we are Reach a Hand Uganda, Sauti Plus Media Hub, and Dr. Ruth Grace, who are here to just make sure you leave that Google doctor, that AI doctor, and be in touch with the real doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mzee.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr.
Lazy
Ruth.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, how long was that?